Welcome, everybody. And with me, I have a rarity in the world of Hollywood, a female director, writer, and producer, Tyler Maddox Simms. And I just discovered that 85% of all directors in Hollywood are men. So, greetings, Tyler. How are you?
I am wonderful. Hi, everyone. And thank you for having me on today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. Now, what is it like to be in such a man's world?
I don't look at it like that. I really don't. I feel we all have voices, whether what gender, race, we all have voices. And you can put yourself in a box and say, you know, my voice isn't going to be heard as loudly because I'm this gender, but I don't look at it like that.
That's a great answer. I think that more people should view life like that in general. And
yeah.
And now
I can be heard no matter, I mean, anyone has, I mean, we live in America. This is literally the land of opportunity, and it doesn't, and I sincerely mean this, I don't feel being African American or being a woman hinders me or puts me in a box. My voice is as loud as anyone else's.
That certainly didn't hurt Oprah, so.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. I was actually just talking about her yesterday, saying how it's amazing where she came from and where she got and how strong of a person she is. And you took a big risk. I mean, you went to LA on one-way ticket when you were 18.
Yep, I certainly did. I believed. And one thing I think a lot of times we hold ourselves back from following our intuition, following our gut instinct. I knew where I wanted to go, and I didn't second guess that. I got on that Greyhound bus, and I knew, I know where I want to go. Now, there's a lot in between, and that's in my story. There's a lot of in between. But the root is I knew, this is the place where my voice, Hollywood place, meaning where my voice could be heard. So I got on the bus.
Wow, that takes a lot of guts at such a young age, but I think sometimes youthful passion lets people do things that they might overthink when they get older.
Absolutely. Now today, would I've gotten on the bus? I don't know. But I'm glad I did it when I did, in my life. I think as we get older, we progress, we understand things differently, and maybe it's that youthfulness in all of us, at no matter what age, that makes us take that chance. I don't know, but I'm glad I did get on that bus. I am.
Well, I'm sure a lot of other people are too, especially like Beyonce.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My first film was with Beyonce, Destiny's Child. They weren't, quote unquote, she was not, quote, Beyonce at that moment. But she was Beyonce. And it was also my first project, my first film. And she was still awesome back then. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, and then you had a big impact on their career, on them getting attention and getting noticed.
Well, I don't know if I think my grandmother, she used to always say, "Cream's gonna rise." I'm from the Midwest, via South, and there's an old Southern saying, "Cream's gonna rise to the top." So I think, I don't know how much of an impact I've had on their career, being that they're in music. I know, I think it was destined for Beyonce and Destiny's Child, and I'm glad, our paths crossed at that moment.
Yes, I mean that's amazing, and I think the name Destiny's Child is very fitting. So that was, and you opened a barber shop to help finance.
Yeah. That was a highlight. Like, seriously, I at a very young age, I had 9 barbers working in my barber shop, and they paid me weekly, and it was, I drew a lot in my writing from that experience because, you know, being a woman, you rarely get to see men all guards down, you know, just straight talk and hearing, you know, so many stories and so many experiences. It was awesome. It really was an awesome experience, but I knew that wasn't where I wanted to be. It was a means to going where I wanted to go. And I generally, I get along with women and men, but, you know, it was a very nice, I'll leave it at that. It was a very, it was a very enlightening experience in my journey. It was very enlightening.
Right. The typical barbershop scenario is a bunch of guys sitting around talking about guy things. So that must have definitely, it must have helped you with your writing, I bet, to help.
It did. Yeah. It really did. And it also gave me, a different perspective, you know, up until that point, you know, I've never really been involved or not involved or in the room of men, you know, talking about menly, experiences. And it definitely gave me a different angle, a different, perspective to draw from, for sure, 100%. And we're talking about African American men, majority. So it was really, it was a very different perspective.
So were they on their best behavior at first, then they got a little more comfortable and they
No, they weren't. They weren't on their best behavior. And I think that's what was so enlightening, because it wasn't, you know, Tyler's in the room, so don't say this. It was more or less, you're in the barbershop, so feel free, you know, to express. And I more or less stayed in the background and just observed and managed the operation, the daily operation of the barbershop.
Wow, that's really cool that you did that. Now, you worked with you have your own production company? Yes,
that's Maddox Entertainment.
Yeah.
I do business with Walmart, with Redbox, direct, you know, business.
Right. Netflix, it said, right? People can watch your movies right on Netflix.
Absolutely. The majority of outlets, you can see a Maddox Entertainment film. Yeah.
I think that's the wave of the future. I mean, many people now, they have their 60-inch HD TVs. They don't want to go out and spend $10 for a movie ticket and $20 on popcorn, you know, and they can get it instantly at home, you know. So I think that's very cool. And you've worked with some great actors, Terrence Howard, Robin Givens, Vivica A. Fox, Ving Rhames. I mean, really good.
I have. I really, that has been such a blessing to have worked with, and the quality, I mean, all actors, you know, I don't want to say quality, but the range of actors that I've worked with, it's definitely been a blessing.
Yes. Now, their newest movie that's about to be released is starring Vivica A. Fox. And that's
It came out today.
Oh,
actually.
Today. That's right. Today's
it's in Walmart. It's in Walmart, Vudu, Amazon. It's a lot of places. It came out today. Vivica Fox, she wrote a book in the movie called The Power of Love. And The Power of Love is basically about 3 individual callers who call in for advice. And more or less, this is a faith-based film, and it tells about their journey, their spiritual journey. We grow as people. We grow spiritually, I believe, at least. We grow spiritually as well as we grow, and experience each life experience. So that's more or less what the power of love is about.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a clip so people can hear a little soundbite, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Great.
And you think that love hasn't?
Yeah, but
No buts. People have stayed in a 10-year marriage 9 years longer than they should because they're always trying to get that old feeling back, trying to make it like it was. And the fact of the matter is, it'll never be like it was. The was, because love evolves. It has stages and changes.
What inspired this movie? Was it life experiences that you've had?
Well, honestly, I have had, being in Los Angeles, solo since 18. I've had, a gazillion, if that's even a word,
I use it.
of life. Yeah, I do too. I've had a gazillion of experiences. As I've aged as a writer, as a producer, as I've aged, I've also grown spiritually. And my stories are not, they're nonfiction, so they're not based on any particular one thing. But 2 years ago, I went through a very, actually it was 3 years ago, I went through a growth spurt, I'll put it like that. And I really wanted my next film to be based on spiritual growth, of individuals, from, my experience, what I went through, I grew spiritually. So that's where the power of love, that was the root of Power of Love.
Oh, very cool. Now, you did a lot of stuff, like you said, there's some in between when you got on the bus and you did some work as on some music videos.
Oh, I've done every position, include catering, and that's like literally I've had to work for whatever reason, twice as hard, and never give up. Like I've worked on everything, set design, everything in pursuit of where I am now as far as producing, directing, running a production company. But to get there, it's been a lot of work and a lot of different odd jobs, a lot of different set positions. I'm not scared of work,
right.
But all the time I've had my eye on the prize, but really how it's helped is when I'm producing a film, I know every aspect.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Even down to the hair and makeup, right?
Yeah, I've never done hair on a set or makeup, but
you have.
I do. Yeah, I know every aspect of filmmaking. Like I'm experienced, not necessarily by choice, that I've, grinded, because it's grinding being a production assistant at times.
Yeah.
But I've done it. I wanted to learn, and I wanted to learn everything. And I wanted not only to learn in my pursuit, I wanted to be able to stay in California and to pursue my dreams. So that meant I had to work. And I'm not from a wealthy family, where I was allotted, all of this to get to. I've had to work for everything.
I was talking with somebody yesterday about how every experience you have in life eventually will reveal the reason for having it. And it looks like that's definitely been the case for you.
That is so true. I mean, I can't even express to you how true it is. I believe, and I say it often, you know, sometimes you'll come to a bump in the road and it's like, oh, but there are no setbacks. They're just setups. Everything you look at as being a setback, it's really just setting you up to where you should be. Yeah. And that's I personally believe that.
That's very true. I've been learning more and more of that myself as well. So now you worked with Vivica, I see, on several or a few movies. So, and she's amazing. I mean, she can do anything. I remember her on a recurring role in Alias, one of my favorite shows, where she played like a badass renegade. She's amazing. Yeah, she really is. She's amazing.
We recently worked together on a film. Stage play. It's actually a stage play for DVD called A Christmas Wedding, and it'll be out November 5th in Walmart. And Vivica actually, you know, being seasoned and such a great actress, it was one particular actress on the set that was nervous. She almost had an anxiety attack, and she made me nervous. She's like, I'm nervous, Tyler, and I'm like, oh my God, I am too. What happened? You know, but Vivica took her under her wing and she ran lines with her, and she not coached, I wouldn't say, but
mentored.
Yeah, she mentored in a time, maybe 2-hour time frame, and she could have, you know, come from a different perspective, like, oh my God, who cast you? But she didn't. And on a human level, it was not even actress, because we all know she's a great actress. Just on a human level, it was so awesome. The actress that I'm, you know, indirectly speaking about, she wound up doing a great job, you know, but Vivica actually sat her down and ran lines with her, and that goes beyond the Call of Duty, you know. Yeah. So she's not only talented, she's a great person, and I'm honored to, on my independent film productions, that, you know, she has been in my cast. It's been awesome.
Now, I also watched the trailer of the movie that's out now, Who's Watching the Kids. It was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
That little girl is a riot.
Oh, she is. Look out for her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look out for her. She is so talented. Her name is Nene Kirby. She's only, 10 years old? She's so talented and funny, and she's just she's one of those few people, you know, and you know how you know when someone has that X factor.
Oh, yeah.
That we don't, she has it.
I saw it.
She's going to be a huge star. You saw it.
Oh, yeah. Let me play a clip. I'll play a soundbite from that so people can hear just how funny she is.
Dear God, please help. I don't want that lady to be my new mommy.
I don't like any kids. I don't be around kids, and I don't have any kids.
Okay, I can see why.
The kids are gone.
Oh, we can catch the bus across the street.
If you help us get home, I'm sure our parents will give you a large reward.
That sounds like quite a precocious child there.
Yeah.
It's amazing when a 10-year-old can just learn the lines and act so natural.
It really is. It really, really is. And, you know, I'm a mother. I have a 7.5-year-old daughter, and, you know, I do all the extras. Like, I'm a full-time mom as well as everything else I do. So I'm, you know, seeing children on a regular, and then you get this 10-year-old, and she's just brilliant. And it makes my job so much easier, and it makes it great, you know. The performance, what a 10-year-old Nene is able to deliver, it was really a good experience.
Yes, it looks like a really funny movie, and people can watch that right now on Netflix and
Netflix. Right now, it's in Walmart. In Redbox. It's on iTunes, I believe. It's pretty much everywhere, national.
Great. So you can get it instantly. If you want to go to iTunes
Amazon,
or Amazon.
It's right there.
Very cool.
Please download.
I know. I love the instant factor. That's a great thing nowadays.
Yeah.
And so now, What is exactly that when you were so young, you knew you wanted to be a filmmaker and be in Hollywood? When did you decide that in your life?
I've always, I believe since I was about 7, and I'm in Euclid, Ohio, and I know this is my choice, this is what I want to do. I always knew it. I've always been fascinated with movies, even more fascinated with the making of movies, the writing, to be able to put your handprint in the sand. It's just an interpretation of what I believe. Most of my films, I can't really. I've always known this is what I wanted to do. Always.
Well, that's great that you were able to pursue your dream and succeed at it. And your films are family friendly, so this is something you can watch with the grandparents and the kids and
yes,
and not be
yes. No, you're not gonna see I try to, if I don't have to incorporate any swear words, mm-hmm. I don't need that. And I think, if you're a good writer, sometimes different scenarios are used to tell stories. So that's wonderful. But I don't use it. There's so many African American films that use, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, mm-hmm. use cheap laughs. When I say cheap, I mean at the expense of someone else.
Yeah.
I don't think good writing entails to get a laugh at the expense of someone. Mm-hmm. I think you can make people laugh without swearing. I think you can make people laugh without, portraying or depicting certain stereotypes. And I try to do that in my films. I like when I can, my first film, Beverly Hills, my daughter puts it in today, and she'll still laugh. It wasn't my best film, but it was my first one, and it did not have any, swearing, or it was just a very simple, entertaining story. And I want that, if when I'm gone and my films are still here, I want that. She told films, she told stories that made your whole family laugh.
That's very good. Now, I do have one clip that I saw that you might not want might not want the kids to see.
Lisa Ray. The guy's
tied up,
Okay. No, I don't want my daughter to see that one.
I want to play this clip, and then you can tell us a little bit about it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Wakey, wakey.
Oh, yo, you tied me up?
Well, I have you finally right where I want you, baby.
I'm too strong for it. Crazy.
No, you're not.
Why you got a knife?
You know what? Because you have all these pretty tattoos. I thought I'd just make one with my name on it. It shouldn't hurt.
No, tell us about that.
Part of life. It's still no swearing, but there are choices we make in all relationships. They're choices. The clip that you're talking about is when our lead character, Malik Barnhart, gets tied up from a jilted ex. He basically lied, cheated, right. And maybe she went a little too far. But, you gotta be careful in relationships. You gotta be careful anytime you're dealing with another human being's feelings and emotions. You have to be careful, and it's all in comedy, of course. Right. That never happened to anyone. But you do really have to be careful,
Well, now that you give it a little more context, it makes sense. I think I interpret it maybe a little differently when I watched it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. No, she basically, in the movie, he promised her the world, to gain material things. She bought him things, you know, and on the premise of, you know, it being a real relationship, and then it wasn't. He never had the intention of relationship with her.
Right.
And she may have went a little, you know, too far, but it's all in comedy.
Right.
It's all in telling the story using light, fictional moments.
But that does happen in real life. You see that happen a lot. People just, you know, they know.
People lie.
They
lie.
They lie, but the other person knows the other person's lying, and they just go. They believe what they want to believe too. They lie to themselves.
I don't know. Like, see, here it is. In my opinion, I think we would have the divorce rate would be decreased if people were honest. It's just a simple truth. Just being honest. This is what I want. This is what I want. And either you can get, not deceiving, whether it be male or female, just being honest. And it's about our real wants. Sometimes I think women, as opposed to men, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this one, but
no, you can say
I think women, we build this ideal in our mind of what things should be. And when they don't meet our expectation, then we're disappointed. And I believe that. We grow up from little girls looking for Prince Charming. So we try to make a person become Prince Charming, and you can't make anybody become anything.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
It's a great point.
You know?
And a lot of times, even the man's honest with them. This is who I am and how I am, and they still think they can change them.
They still are going to change them. Like, our quest is, no, that's really not who you are. I'm going to make you be who I believe you should be. And it really, the bottom line is just two people being honest with not only each other, but their self.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we would have a lot more healthier, long-lasting relationships if we were all honest with first, like Shakespeare said, to thy own self be
Absolutely.
true. If we were honest with ourselves, and then if we're honest with ourselves, we can be honest with other people.
That's perfect. That's exactly true. And wow, I totally agree. And I see now that you're also acquiring works from other filmmakers and incorporating them into a production company.
Yes. I have a very unique, very good distribution deal, and again, this isn't through, you know, this didn't miraculously just happen. It's through trial and error. I actually I had a production entity take 7 figures from me. And I had to go through litigation in order to not win, but settle. So through that experience, I learned the business of this business, and I was able to get a great distribution outlet where my films go directly to retailers. And I've also, one of the things I vowed going through this experience was, you know, I would, the films that I did acquire, treat them with respect, treat them with good accounting. I think a lot of filmmakers miss that. We're so anxious. Oh, you're going to distribute my film. It's going to be on TV. Then you miss, wait a minute, this is a business. Not only is your film going to be on TV, your film's going to have royalties, profit participation statements for quite some time. And it's so important, so important. I can't stress that enough, for filmmakers to understand the business. It's not just about making this wonderful, wonderful film. It's about, you have to live. it's a business as well as an art. It is a business. Yeah. So yes, I've acquired a couple of films, very selective about, what I'll bring under the Maddox, my logo, my brand, films that are in line with my own company's core beliefs, and that's just good family entertainment. And I have a huge responsibility there because for people that don't understand, making films, it's like you put a part of your life into, independently at least. I can only speak from independently. You put so much into it, and you want to be with a company, a distributor that appreciates that, right. And that pays you accordingly. And that's one thing that I've made, as part of my company. I want to do that because I know how it feels to be on the other end, to be totally disrespected and not paid. So, with my company, I plan on doing things differently.
That's good. Do things treat people the way you wish you had been treated as you were?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I heard an interview with an actress who's now on The Young and the Restless, which is the #1 soap in the country. And she made a movie 3 years ago. It got shelved, but now that she's on The Young and the Restless, they're releasing it. And that happens a lot in the business, So, I mean, you go on IMDb and you see all these movies. And I talked to Eric Roberts once, and he said, "Oh, no, I don't even know if that's ever getting released. That might be, or that was just released, but I did it 4 years ago." It's crazy.
Yep. And, it's a lot of crap, and that's the best word it's a lot of crap, because when you make, this is entertainment. People, even going through the worst period over the past 6 years, with the housing market and our economy, one business that did not get affected as much as everything else was entertainment. Mm-hmm. So when you make a film, now I'm not saying everybody, that goes out and just makes a film is going to make money, but when you make a film, chances are there's a market for that. And again, I don't believe filmmakers are as passionate about knowing the business as they are of making the art. But they both go hand in hand, because in order to continue to put your art out there, you need finances and you need to be paid, for your work. And I wish I would have known earlier in my career, just the business.
Yes,
really.
That's great advice. I'm a musician, and I just struggled for a long time not knowing the business, and I made some poor decisions over the years where I could have been further along than I am because of that, and it's definitely great. But people who are listening, if you're a musician, a filmmaker, or a writer, listen to what you just said. It's very important.
No, that's real. It's real talk. Yeah. It's very important. And artistically, there's a passion behind your art, like music, film, book, whatever it is. Yeah. You're so passionate behind the art of it, and not totally acknowledging, in order to continue to share your gift, to share your art, you have to have money. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole multi-billion-dollar business that makes money off of art. And that's the bottom line.
Right.
Period.
And it's usually not the artist that makes the bulk of it.
No, it's not. And not that it can't be. Right. It could be. It's just we as artists sometimes don't put it as much into knowing the business as we do making the art. But it's something that, it can change.
Well, you're changing the game. You're a pioneer.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Now, how do you feel with everything now? Like you said, being available instantly, you can go to Redbox, you can go to Amazon, you can go to iTunes and Netflix.
I feel great.
When you see movies get released into theaters now, they might last a week or two, and then they're shuffled out. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember, a movie would be playing in the theater for a year, then they'd re-release it again the next year, and so. And with digital technology, it's a lot less expensive. To film a movie and make a good quality movie.
This is the digital age, and it's like keep up. continue to be relevant as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a musician, keep up with the trends. Everything, I believe, is going to go digital eventually. This year, 2014, I want to be in theaters. I want to be in theaters because I haven't been in theaters. But what I've noticed over the past year, there's a lot of major players that have straight to videos.
Yeah.
Lot of major players have straight to videos.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It used to be kind of like, oh, they couldn't get in the theater, so it's straight to video. But now it's kind of like, I think people aren't paying as much to go to the movies; they're paying more for the on-demand stuff.
Absolutely. It's comfortable. Everybody wants comfort, you know? You want to pay, like you had said earlier. No, everybody doesn't want to take a date and spend $10 on popcorn.
Right. I'll pay the 99 cents and make it in the microwave, then I can pause to go to the bathroom when I need to.
There it is, you know? Literally, there it is. So I think it will be a thing of the future. I'm glad it's here now for me, for what I do. As of right now, most of my titles, well, all of my titles are straight to video. And it seems straight to video, on demand, most recently, Redbox. So I'm glad that's available now. It was not available like this 10 years ago.
Right.
So I'm very happy.
I've even seen movies now that are pretty much released in the theaters and on some special on-demand outlets simultaneously.
Yeah,
like
they do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's great that we have that open for us now. It's awesome.
That's, well, you're definitely been very inspiring, and for people who should definitely check out your movies. Who's watching the kids? I'm going to go watch the whole movie now because I need to laugh. I need a good laugh. And that little girl, I just got to see the rest of the movie because she's so funny.
She's awesome. She really is. She's awesome. Yeah. And thank you. Like, it was nice talking to you. And definitely, this was one of my better interviews, over the past couple weeks.
Well,
thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, and everybody go check out The Power of Love. I'm at Walmart now. Buy it now, and go to your website, which is, I have the address in front of me right here. MaddoxEntertainment.biz. Right, .biz. Well, thank you, Tyler, and I wish you the most of success, and I'll talk to you again.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.